Calls for the U.S. to end its trade embargo on Cuba were high on the agenda of a summit with 15 Caribbean nations in Havana. Leaders attending the summit also discussed trade with one another, education, and climate change. CCTV's Michael Voss has the story.
The Cuba-Caricom Summit takes place every 3 years, always around December the 8th. That's when, in 1972, 4 recently independent Caribbean nations became the first in the world to break with the United States and restore diplomatic relations with communist Cuba. It's an issue which still resonates today.
I call upon President Obama to lift that senseless embargo now.
Cuba is the largest island in the Caribbean and prides itself on its health and education, which it shares with its neighbors. The Latin American Medical School near Havana currently has some 600 Caribbean students, all of them on scholarships paid for by the Cuban government. Many more have already graduated from here and are practicing medicine back home. It's a policy which is helping win hearts and minds.
Cuba is not a country that has a lot, but from what they're offering to people, and I think that is really a great thing.
This is part of Cuba's medical diplomacy, and so far, almost 25,000 doctors from 83 countries have graduated from this medical school alone. Cuba's recent reforms have yet to improve its struggling economy, but President Raul Castro pledged to continue its help with health and education.
This moment seems fit to reaffirm that despite our economic difficulties, we will honor our pledge to cooperate and share our modest achievements with our sister nations in the Caribbean.
The summit also looked at ways to improve the very limited trade across the region, which is hindered by poor air and sea links throughout the Caribbean. Climate change was another concern. All face the potential threat of rising sea levels and more frequent and powerful hurricanes. Michael Voss, CCTV, Havana.